What are the top 5 roles to staff for your med spa in order to be successful, and why are they each so important? Understanding these roles will enable you to better structure your med spa business and optimize performance and growth. Common struggles that most med spa owners face are unpredictable revenue growth and expenses, lack of clarity of how to create a team and who to hire first, and being confused about how to prioritize the different expenses as you get started in growing your business or scaling your business. Typically, the first person to put in place if you are a sole provider is a front desk coordinator and receptionist. This person can also handle the day-to-day management items as well, opening the practice, closing the practice, balancing your register, setting up your CRM system, as well as scheduling your appointments and checking clients in and out. This is often a challenge where you feel like you need that person, but you can't yet afford that person in the position at the front desk. And as I've worked with hundreds of clients one-on-one, you really can't afford not to have the person at the front desk so that your phone's being answered in a timely basis, especially if you're spending money to make the phone ring. You also need that person there to greet, check in, check out, upsell, and credential you, as well as do consultations so that you as the provider, especially if there's just one provider, can be busy enough to bring the income up to where you're going to make enough revenue to support yourself, that front desk person, and perhaps other people as you begin to grow the team. You simply cannot do all of the things, run the front desk, check people in and out, be the provider at a scalable amount of revenue in order to buy yourself out of this challenge. So the very first place to start when you're deciding, yes, I do need help, I need one more person, would not necessarily be an esthetician or an assistant, because that's where a lot of physicians and providers go. It's really to have someone at the front end for the client experience, the upsells, the add-ons, the confirmations, consultations, and someone that can talk about how great you are, because after all, you can't do that for yourself. Typically, your next hire, if you are a primary provider, meaning you're doing injectables and high-end energy services, would be to bring on an esthetician who can also be an assistant or MA to speed up your services. Not only can your esthetician or medical esthetician, laser esthetician, it varies by state. Not only can they do less expensive and delegatable tasks, but they can also prep your room, prep your client with numbing cream, assist you so that you are making more revenue per hour. So this is really the second hire that you should consider bringing onto your team. The next 2 positions can really be interchangeable, and many times they happen simultaneously. If you're getting busy enough to where you can justify bringing on another provider at an injector level, then you probably are also growing to the point where you need an office manager in addition to that receptionist front desk coordinator. Now, keeping in mind that either the front desk coordinator or the manager can also act as your patient consultant. Typically, that's probably going to be your manager that's more experienced, that's going to be a really good patient consultation expert. That would be, in a perfect world, how you would hire this position. Now, keeping that in mind, as you bring on that other provider, of course, they come on with their licensure. They're going to shadow you. Hopefully, they've had some experience. If they don't have some experience, you're sending them for training as well as letting them shadow you. But this is going to help you double that revenue per hour as you start having clients go to them for the services that you don't necessarily need to do. This kind of dance can be interesting because what you need to figure out is what is your highest and best use. If you've got some sort of services that are $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 an hour, keep those high-end services with yourself and let the toxins and some of the beginning fillers or some of the energy services that are less revenue per hour to your injector or the RN that comes on below you as the primary provider. Let me add one tip, and I notice in this industry, a lot of times we assume that every single staff member wants to be a full-time employee with insurance benefits and all the bells and whistles that you associate with medical positions. Elective medical and aesthetics are not necessarily positions where people are looking for full-time hours and insurance dental benefits. Many times you will find that nurses and estheticians are moving into this area because they want to be able to get services done at cost. They really like the perks. They love the softer side of medicine. They like not being on call, working nights, having a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday kind of job. And they'll be willing to work less hours, make less money for the option to not deal with things like a schedule that's changing and being on call and not having any kind of life balance. So you may have to start, as you're growing your team, different people with 2 or 3 days a week and not benefits. You don't have to be thinking about people being full-time employees with a large salary. That is hard hard to do in the beginning. Once you're ready to expand the team beyond yourself, keep in mind that people may join your practice and they are properly licensed. However, they may or may not have training on your specific devices, and your techniques are important. So it's really vital that you let them sit in on consultations, understand combination therapy. Even having them assist you for a couple weeks in the room before you let them loose with clients is invaluable, because they can then learn and absorb some of the phrases you use, the approach you take, the bedside manner, because after all, the people coming to the business are used to seeing you. They love what that relationship feels like, and it's your job to train the rest of your staff to emulate that same level of customer service, bedside manner, and expertise throughout the practice, because that is really what people are looking for when they find a med spa and their favorite injector. They really want to hear that same idea all the way through the practice of the combination therapy and different recommendations and the way that you explain how their treatments should go and the results to expect. That common language and listening to each other, doing even once a week lunch and learn sales trainings, because it is a rinse and repeat. It does take about 90 days to get someone fully up and operational in a practice. And around 45 days, you feel like you're not sure if they're going to make it. That happens a lot. There is something about that week 4 to 6, 6 to 9 that really helps people gel into place. Keeping that in mind, I'd like to hire people with a 90-day contractor agreement and then let them go to full-time, so they realize this is a chance for us to see if we're the right fit for them and they're the right fit for us. That way you've got a set time frame in which to say, hey, at 90 days, we're going to get together and do a review. We're going to talk about your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and if there's challenges. And we want to make sure not only is this a right fit for us, for you, but for you, for us. And that gives you a set idea of how long you're going to give it to see if this hire is the right hire for you. If you're ready to grow your team, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, it is a different skill set than being an excellent provider. Now you're moving into a leadership, management, parenting, and growing people role. If you need help and systems and processes to be successful with that, you should consider joining our VIP Inner Circle for twice-a-week coaching and access to all of our training courses and materials, so that you can have things at your disposal like position descriptions and org charts and review forms, as well as standard operating procedures, employee handbooks, and everything that you need to create a positive company culture and a career path of success so that you can continue to grow your med spa or elective medical practice.